Hello, folks. Shigs here. I just wanted to give a little explanation before we get on to the main show. This is a bit of a late show because we recorded it about maybe a little over 2 weeks ago. Then we had an addendum, I think is the word, afterwards. I can never say that word. Anyway, because the Sonic Boom E3 videos had showed up, and this is just before we got into E3. But sadly, because I was so busy with E3 and with preparing for Sonic Revolution, which just happened this past Sunday, I did not get the time to edit down this episode. So I'm sorry for the lateness of this. We will have a future episode where we're talking about our experience with E3 and my experience with Sonic Revolution. But for now, enjoy the show. Thank you very much.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Sonic Talk podcast. I forget which episode we are. Is it, 27? We're 27,
Well, it'd be
right?
28 because it's the next
yeah.
episode.
Yes, 27. That was the number of the Sonic comic that got me into the entire Sonic fandom. So 27 is a very special number for me. Or was it 28? Who cares? So, it's been a little while, of course, and some things have gone down. We have a new character that's been announced today.
This is what happens when you go monthly. You can actually get some news together.
Yeah, and now with us today we've got the ever
Present.
Jason Barry, and the not quite as oftenly present, but he is here a lot because I think he has a strange fascination with Jason. GX Echidna.
I've been studying him for many a year. I have not deduced all of his behaviors, but I have been able to at least pin down a few. With nails.
Between you and me, dear listeners, I think GX has a crush, but we won't get into that right now because we are a Sonic Talk podcast.
I think he's
and
studying
we are
me
going
like a
to
petri
talk
dish.
Sonic. So, speaking of talking Sonic, what knock Sonic things have we been playing lately? Because, it's been like 6 months since the release of the last Sonic game, so clearly we've been playing some knock Sonic stuff. I've been playing Afterburner Complete on the 32X, and that review should already be up because I've just finished it, and it will be going up tonight. Of course, for you guys, it should be a few days ago, and I would encourage you to check it out because Afterburner is awesome. And I've also been playing a Sky Target for the Sega Saturn, which is also apparently Afterburner, even though they call it Sky Target. I don't know what Sega was thinking with their franchises, but yeah. So yeah, I've been playing that shit. That stuff. And GX, what have you been up to?
Just yesterday I started playing One Piece Romance Dawn for DS because, I don't know, I needed some sort of stopgap between whatever I was playing last and Mario Kart, so I popped that in, and I guess the best way for me to describe it is I like it. It is a terrible game.
Yes, I've heard. So how do you like it?
Well, let's put it this way. If you give me an opportunity to run around any sort of field as the One Piece cast, there is a pretty good chance I'm going to like your game. There are very few franchises that I can say that about, but for some reason, when it comes to One Piece, I'm not particularly discerning.
Is this the Hyrule Warriors knockoff one?
No, this is a DS RPG.
I meant Dynasty Warriors. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hyrule Warriors is a knockoff of Dynasty Warriors.
No, although I will also say that is a game where I enjoy it, and no, it's not very good. But in this game, it is the best way for me to describe it. Do you remember classic RPGs that try to simulate walking through a 3D square dungeon maze, and then eventually
No.
running into the occasional random battle.
My first RPG was Skies of Arcadia, which did not try to simulate 3D because it was actually 3D.
Now I know
So,
what
yeah.
GX is talking about. My first RPG was like Final Fantasy on the NES or something like that.
Yeah, I forget
Not a
how
more
old
tra-
you
not
are
a- well, I mean,
sometimes.
Legend of Zelda, but traditional RPG.
But I
Or
mean,
Final
things that
Fantasy type.
try to simulate like actually going through a dungeon. Imagine that, only actually 3D, but with the same quality of level design. You're running through a bunch of square town mazes that you are slowly uncovering and occasionally running into hordes of enemies that you have to fight. It's profoundly basic. The cutscenes are all terrible. Those terrible kind of talking head cutscenes. Only they're even
Aw.
worse because it's just character portraits in these squares, and they represent talking by just having the character portraits grow and shrink a little bit as word bubbles pop around them. It's really, it feels really rushed to me. Like it is not a particularly good RPG. I would not recommend getting it unless you are as profound and undiscerning a One Piece fan as me. But I'm still enjoying it. It has a interesting, if not pretty simple, battle system that kind of reminds me of Chrono Trigger, where everything is a turn order is decided by a continuously running timer, and everything happens on the same field. So if you get into a battle, you're still within the same field. And your position and enemy position kind of makes a difference. You want to try to set up hitting enemies so that you can group them together and then hit with a big cluster attack. And it's more interesting than it is good. I like it. I'm not recommending it because I think it's pretty poorly designed, but I don't regret getting it. So,
Well, I really need something to tide me over until the next season of One Piece comes in the fall. But I think I might try to hold off until the World Red thing.
that's
what's it
July.
called?
Yeah.
Grand World
No,
Red?
it's Oh boy, now you're getting me confused. It's One Piece. It's Unlimited World Red because it's based
Unlimited
off
World
of
Red.
the Wii series that the
Yeah.
series that originally started on Wii, Unlimited Adventure, something like that. It had one of those things, but what the Wii one was actually pretty cool. It was kind of this not quite MMO-ish style of gameplay, but effectively you and the whole cast of the One Piece or of the Straw Hats are stuck in this original story on this mysterious island, and everything is based around exploring it, defeating just defeating enemies, and just kind of combo-based battle structure, and collecting and crafting lots and lots of items to help you open up new areas. And I thought for an anime game, having an original story like that, and for being more than just kind of this fighting game, as most tend to be, I thought it was really actually pretty fun and interesting. I liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I never got to beat it though, but it was nice to actually. I remember when I got back in 2007, it was nice to have an actual One Piece thing, not from 4Kids that didn't have some of the worst voice acting you'll ever hear. So it was nice. But Jason, what have you been up to?
All right, finally. Well, I've been playing on the 3DS. I got Kirby's Triple Deluxe, which is very awesome little platformer. It's got a little bit more of a Donkey Kong Country Return style to it, where the backgrounds are affecting the foregrounds a lot of times, and you actually can jump into the backgrounds where there's extra level stuff, because they're really wanting to take advantage of 3D. And that works really well. There's a lot of new power-ups for Kirby, a lot of new characters to turn into, and my favorite thing is at least 2 times per world, not per level, you get this one fruit that lets Kirby just suck up everything with a super powered up Kirby, and there's one where there's this giant eel that tries to attack you, but then he accidentally bites his own tongue, and Kirby could suck into the tongue and then suck up this gigantic eel for like a full minute. It takes him almost to suck him up, and he could just suck up the whole universe.
You're not really selling it, sir.
It's got
Kirby
a lot. It's
gross.
basically Kirby on steroids, is what I'd call it. I mean, it's a lot less milder than the other Kirby games. There's like 3 or 4 of these shiny stars that you have to find in each level. Well, you don't have to find them, but they add a little bit of a hunt to it. And there's also some what do they call those keychains that are done with a 16-bit style to it that you're wanting to collect throughout the levels. And they kind of look like how people do those melty beads. You see them at the conventions, and they have like the little 8-bit sprites and that. Kind of like that. And there's also 2 other little bonus games that come with it. Basically a Kirby Smash Brothers, but it's all just the Kirby power-up characters, and a rhythm game starring King Dedede. But
Haven't tried out the King Dedede stuff yet, but
it's
the
pretty
battle,
short.
the fighting thing is nice. It's it kind of almost is holding you over until Smash Brothers comes in the summer.
The best thing
it's
way
not
I can
great,
describe
but
it
it's
is
okay.
it's an easier Donkey Kong Country, it feels like to me at times.
I remember IGN complained about the fruit, about you not having to do anything to earn the Super Sucker fruit. But when you actually play the game, I'm a little surprised you'd make that argument, because the Super Sucker fruit isn't something that you earn. It's just a critical power-up you need to get through certain stages.
Your first mistake was taking an IGN review
really cool.
anywhere near seriously.
Hey. I take most reviews seriously, except for Game Informer, but I have a history with them.
My favorite moment with that Super Sucker is he goes up to a pipe, and you can see this little, what do they call this, Waddle Dee on the other end, and he starts sucking on the pipe really hard, and you see this little Waddle Dee try to hang on to this rock to keep from being sucked up, and so and of course he ends up going through the tube along with all the rocks and the treasure he finally opens up. I always feel guilty for the Waddle Dees, because there's these cute little guys that are just not really doing anything wrong. They're just trying to serve their king, and they end up getting eaten up by Kirby. The other games I've been playing, I just got Wolfenstein from Best Buy, because I had a $5 certificate, and I'm in that new Gamers Club program of theirs while it was on sale this week. So I get 20% off of all new games for the next 2 years.
Awesome.
And 10% bonus on trade-ins, and 10% off of used games. 20% is a lot. I mean, that's drops it down from $60 to $48. Plus, if a game's on sale, you still get that 20%. So right now they got Spider-Man on the PS3 and Wii U and that for $30, and I'd be able to get it for like $24. Even if you price match from another store has something on like Titanfall on sale for $40, you would still get that 20% added to that. It's a great deal. Wolfenstein, I just started it today. I can't talk too much about it. There's not a lot to say. It's still really good. It's all single-player, first-person shooter. There's no multiplayer in this one, so it's all story-based. But it's really good so far.
I hear it has Nazis.
Plenty of Nazis. All
Nah,
kinds
there's
of
no
Nazis.
Nazis.
And I got Watch Dogs on PS4 as well, but that was on I pre-ordered
I
to pay for
completely
that
forgot
off a
that game
long
was
time ago.
out.
It's pretty good. It's basically like Grand Theft Auto, except with hacking, and you're not as much of a douchebag as you are in those games. You're still a little bit of a douchebag, but not as bad. You're not killing everybody. You try to keep from killing civilians and just going after gangs and other hackers and such. And hacking in the game is absolutely fun. And I mean, it's funny. I could just spend hours going up to traffic lights, switching them so they're all green, and watching the carnage as all the cars smash into each other.
So, visually, is Watch Dogs a shiny PS3 game, or is it a PS4 game?
It is
on
It is a Wii U game.
It is a PS4 game. It's also on
Silly
Wii U, but
GX.
It looks almost as good as its 2012 reveal.
Mm.
Like a lot of people have been complaining because it's at 900p on PS4 and 720p on Xbox
Who cares
One. I know, who
about
cares
the
about the P?
freaking
It's so
Ps?
stupid.
Digital
Every time I
Foundry
hear that on
cares.
NeoGAF, I just
Base all of
wanna
your
throw
purchasing
up.
decisions on Digital Foundry.
Yeah, and the only bad thing I'll see about the graphics is during daylight, the shadows in that just look kind of meh. But it looks really spectacular at nighttime.
But it still doesn't look anything like the how it looked at E3, right?
It looks about as good, maybe not quite as good, but very close to Infamous.
Oh, Infamous is a pretty nice looking game.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's really nice. And you know what? On my TV, I cannot tell the difference between 900p and 1080p, so I don't really care. The main game that I've been playing a hell of a lot of after renting it is Titanfall on the 360.
Oh, I need
I
to
have
get
put
that.
in 14 hours of that, and I don't. This is crazy because every other first-person shooter I play the single-player campaign, and then I play multiplayer for a few hours, and I'm done. I've never played a first-person shooter on multiplayer this long, and it's just because the game is just so damn enjoyable. There's just so much new to it. I mean, you got parkouring, which you can do all over the place, double jumps with your pilot, and to help. It's very noob friendly. You won't feel like like pathetic while playing it because I mean some of your first powers off the bat is to be able to cloak, to make it hard for pilots to see you and to keep you completely invisible from Titans when you're around the field. And when you get to level 3, you get the smart gun, which automatically does auto aim on all specters and grunts. And it takes a little while to do. It'll do auto aim on a pilot, but it takes a little while to auto aim, and they can kill you in the meantime. So you gotta watch out for that. But yeah, there's that. There's the Titans themselves. And it's not like you get rewarded with the Titan for doing a great job. The only thing when you're doing a great job is it cuts down the amount of time it takes for a Titan to drop. Otherwise, it takes about 2 to 3 minutes for your Titan to fall. And then you just feel like a massive giant just shooting everybody, all the little pilots down. Like pew pew, and then you get into this giant mech versus mech battles with the other Titans.
So, does
the other
Titanfall have a cross play between 360 and 1?
I don't think it does, because it's a different developer did the port. They did a really good job though. It looks great. I mean, it doesn't. I've seen video of one in PC, and it doesn't look nearly as good as that, but it still looks really good for a 360 game. And they try to keep it at 40 to 60 frames per second as much as it can. Sometimes it drops to 30, but for the most part, it's pretty stable. Plus, the other thing I like is the grunts there and the specters. They are these low-level AI teammates on both squads. And basically, they keep your kill-to-death ratio, so you always have a lot more kills than deaths, because they are just dumb as bricks. When they see you, they kneel down and they start shooting you, and they don't do too much damage on them, so they're very easy to kill. If you hack it to a Spectre, which is a robot, basically a robot soldier, they will turn into your army, and you can use them against the other players. There's tons of unlocks. It's just basically, it's an all-around really fun first-person shooter. It's the best multiplayer online first-person shooter I've ever played.
So, now that we've discussed the non-Sonic stuff in our Sonic podcast, it's time to discuss the Sonic stuff. So, today for us, but I suspect a few days ago for the rest of you, we had our first new original character for Sonic Boom announced.
Do not steal.
Not Marine. Not Marine.
No, it's a character who looks a lot like a previous Sonic character. only it's not the same character. It's Dix the Beaver. Instead of having appendages on his back, he has 2 on his front. And wait till you see him fly.
That was a horrible, horrible
What?
joke, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
What?
I know.
Anyway,
it's Styx the Badger.
Styx the Badger, and despite the fact that she looks like Marine, and she has Marine's personality, and she even has a freaking boomerang. She has a freaking boomerang. But she's not Marine. She's Styx, which I guess kind of makes sense in a way because she lives in the wilderness,
And
and
she even has
she's
a quirky
essentially.
personality like Marine.
And she
That's
seems
because
to wear the skins of other animals, which makes me wonder: does she kill other? What do they? What do we call them? I guess we don't call them Mobians. Furries, I guess.
I don't think it's skin, leather.
Yeah, it's totally skin. It's like all furry.
We
and
call
stuff.
them
She kills other
proto-furries, or
She
animals.
kills other furries, skins them, and wears their skin. Weird.
Oh, basically, it's a character who's been like living alone her whole life, and then she ends up joining up with the other group, and she becomes best friends with Amy. And she's a little insane.
So pretty much Marine. Well, yeah, Marine in the Sonic comics anyway.
Well, yeah, they both have like a bad social stigma. They both have a hard time getting along with others.
But I don't know how I really feel about her because her archetype. I like her kind of character archetype. You know, the socially
The sociopath
awkward,
is what you're going for. The sociopath.
Yeah, the sociopath. Yeah, let's go with that.
Well, I wouldn't say sociopath.
Like her
she's gonna kill
dialogue
cast members.
her dialogue was well, you can be a sociopath without being a murderer, man. Jeez, don't be insulting. Some of our viewers might be sociopaths. I might be a sociopath. I know GX Kid is a sociopath.
I'm definitely a sociopath. You are ignorant to our people, our struggle in this country, escaping the sociopath homeland.
But her dialogue is very interesting, to say the least. I hope
like
that
the voice, but the humor is starting to come off like Disney Channel live action, and I'm starting not to like it.
I hope that it's better in context, because out of context, a lot of weird Cartoon Network humor can just come off as stupid, but in context, maybe not so stupid. You know, I mean, but I don't know, like Sonic Boom, my opinion of the entirety of Sonic Boom is Knuckles is hideous. As for everything else, I don't know, I'll have to wait and see. And that's still how I feel about this. It's like, I don't want to damn it and just be a senseless, dumb hater, but at the same time, it's hard for me to get a read on what any of this stuff is.
One of the newest pictures of the Sonic Boomcast, it looks like they were trying to do some improvements. Like, I think Knuckles' head is a little larger and fits his body better.
Well, at least there's that, I guess.
And Sonic's legs aren't like super skinny; they're a little wider.
GX, what do you think of this?
I mean, it still doesn't bother me, because to me it just kind of feels like they're trying to do their own thing. I don't care their new character, because, I mean, let's be honest, what Sonic series didn't at least have some sort of inclusion of their own little motif? I mean, we're still getting better than Chris Thorndike and Sonia and Manic. I mean, we are absolutely.
Chris Thorndike was amazing.
Chris Thorndike was shipping official. But basically, I kind of like. I don't mind what they're trying to do with the humor. I mean, the last time we had decent humor in the Sonic franchise is going to be, I'm going to say, like, Colors, and even then it wasn't actually anything to do with Sonic. It was mostly just the Eggman PA system announcements, and that was kind of about it. Sonic...
Yeah, and so far every scene I've seen in Sonic Boom, Eggman's the funny one, and everybody else's attempts at humor just kind of come off a little...
I think I might be more forgiving about that. I still kind of like at least some of the jokes. I mean, I listening to some of the Styx dialogue, I found it a bit funny. I'm hoping that it's just going to be more of the rule than the exception, because I would rather have something that is quirky and distinct and weird than have something that's just kind of as off-puttingly bland as, honestly, Sonic Sonic Lost World kind of turned out to be.
Yeah, at that point, we realized Ken Pontiac wasn't exactly the best writer we thought he was. I mean, it's nice not to have like a non-dark story like the Adventures in 06 started to go into, but at the same time,
Lost World was weird.
Lost World was all over the map. Either it was it's supposed to be quirky and funny, or else it just went into a really dark area.
Yeah.
Or really diving deep into some archetypes. Like, egad. Yeah, I mean, this does not deter me. I don't care that it is not exactly marine, but is pretty much kind of. I mean, I'm still expecting the main cast to be the main cast. I'm still expecting it to. Hey, we've seen all the concept art of them. Hey, this is still going to be a world of animals as far as I can tell. So, I'm happy about that. I've always tried to keep consistent with saying that is what I would rather have with a Sonic franchise. I think that everyone's going to give people crap about that because it is a new Sonic character, but I don't think that these people would have watched this cartoon anyway or have cared about it, and they're just going to give it crap anyway.
Oh no, they're going to watch it anyway, but they're going to bitch about it.
No,
that's what we Sonic fans do.
No, not Sonic fans. I mean, like, outside of the Sonic fans. No, Sonic fans will be...
Would people outside the Sonic fandom care that we got a new character?
They care...
There are Sonic Underground defenders, so I think the
Sonic Underground ain't that bad. It's not that bad.
It's very bad.
It's not that
bad. You know,
bad.
Jason, even I will kind of defend certain aspects of Sonic Underground, at least some of the later stuff.
Yeah, even GX. And he I don't even need to describe who he is.
I mean, I'm not saying it's any great shake. I'm just saying, you know what? For as much crap as that thing gets, there are some interesting things that it does.
Yeah. That is my view exactly. And I do not need to say anything else about Sonic Underground.
I've watched about 5 episodes and I hated all 5, so I'm not going to say anything else.
I watched the...
Oh, well, I've seen all 40 episodes.
And I have too.
It is the worst. It is one of the worst and one of the not so worst Sonic shows I've ever seen.
Well, here's the question: Is it worse than the second half of Sonic X?
No.
There you go. See?
It's not.
Probably,
accomplishment.
Sonic X, the final season of Sonic X just felt like fan fiction, the whole thing.
Sonic X, I mean, the Sonic Battle Arc in Sonic X was one of the worst things I've ever seen in the Sonic franchise. I mean,
I don't know. I've read Sonic
Chris
Live.
Thorndike fought someone in that fight. I don't remember who. It was just ridiculous.
Oh, didn't he?
Whole thing was
didn't
ridiculous.
he lose instantaneously?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, there you go.
Why would Chris Thorndike even fight anything? He's a 10-year-old boy.
Because everyone fought in that stupid thing. Everyone did.
Didn't the maid fight?
Yes, Ella definitely did fight.
Ella the maid fought Big the cat.
Who won? I forget.
Who cares?
Does anyone remember?
Who cares?
I think Ella did. Because she chased him with a frying pan.
Yes, Sonic Underground, in my opinion, is better than Sonic X, and Sonic X I would probably consider the worst Sonic show I've ever seen.
There's some decent episodes of Sonic X, I think.
Yeah, there are
Sonic
some, but
Underground
there's also some decent episodes of Sonic Underground.
Anyhow.
Okay, well, let's change topics, or else we're going to go on that.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we're done talking about not marine, right? So, How about that there Sonic Boom, that there no Summer of Sonic? I was not expecting that. No Summer of Sonic. Huh.
Well, with Sven and Adam basically gone from Sonic Stadium, and I guess they just don't have the staff power that they once had for that show.
Hopefully it's just a temporary thing. I admit I've not been following that in the Sonic Stadium form because I've been devoting most of my energy to Segabits these days because we got the whole year of the console going on, and that requires some dedication. But that is kind of disappointing because Summer of Sonic, that was run by the fans. It was, it's not like Sonic Boom. Where I like Sonic Boom, but it is very corporate. It is very corporate controlled and very geared towards promoting the here and the now of Sonic, and not just the Sonic fandom as a whole.
Let's put it this way: in Sonic Boom, they would not have Lee Brotherton sing a very short remix of "They Call Me Sonic."
But Sonic Boom in New York does actually kind of excite me, aside from the fact that, at least, I haven't actually looked this up by myself.
By the way,
but
I predicted this I believe I predicted this on this show last year, that it was going to end up, they're going to keep going east and end up in New York.
But I was not expecting that they'd be doing it a weekend before New York Comic Con.
I was hoping they'd do it on the weekend during New York Comic Con.
Yes! I mean, I
would totally go for sure. Now I'm interested in going. I'd love to check out New York.
Yeah, New York is great.
It's like, do I go to Sonic Boom or do I go to New York Comic Con? Which one?
Well, I guess both. Sonic Boom, because I don't know.
Are you
going? For me personally, I want to go to both, because I've been wanting to go back to New York City for a long time, because I am a big fan of Broadway and musicals and stage shows, so I could just go up there with my family, spend a week, go to both events, and I don't have to pay for anything because my dad will be there, and so I'll get a free ride.
Pro tip: skip Wicked, but see Blue Man Group.
I've already seen Wicked, and I like it.
I hate Wicked. Wicked was terrible.
Wicked is awesome, and you will bow to it.
No, it was awful. I like Wizard of Oz, but
you will love Defying Gravity.
If Alex goes to Sonic Boom, then I'll go to Sonic Boom, as long as we could share a room or something. Save money.
Well, like I said, if I do go, I'd probably be going with my family, so I don't know. We'd have to see how that works out, I guess. But
maybe I could see if Cynthia wants to go.
The main thing for me is that I'm taking on my journalism major finally this semester, and so I don't know if I can miss the classes, but I guess we'll just have to see. But yeah, so Sonic Boom in New York City is pretty exciting, and I'm hoping that once they go to New York, they'll say, we've done the northern part of America, let's go down south to Miami. That'd be great.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, next stop.
Oh, God, I would kill something.
Hey, we've already got one of the country's biggest furry conventions.
Well, are we done with this? Because I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, I guess so.
Unless you want to talk more about Wicked.
Well, as far as Summer of Sonic goes, I guess the only Summer of Sonic will be Sonic Revolution in 2 weeks in Anaheim.
Okay.
At Bueno, forget what the hell the name is. Buena something hotel. Yeah, me and the others, Shane and Nat, are helping run it, but I'm both excited and worried about how that's going to turn out.
Yeah, you never know how these fan conventions are going to go. I mean, it could go like Summer of Sonic, or it could just go where no one shows up.
Well, Summer of Sonic was friggin' huge.
Either no one shows up or we're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a big staff for this.
Well, hopefully it works out.
Yeah.
But okay, so anything else? Do we have anything else you want to discuss, Jason?
Well, did you want to discuss E3?
Oh, sure. What the heck? That's yeah, okay. Yeah, E3 is a little weird this year. I tried to go through Segabits, didn't work out. Apparently, Segabits was eligible last year, but it's not eligible this year, and so mine going is kind of in limbo. But I should be able to go through Sonic Stadium if I, do a few things to make sure I'm eligible. But I kind of don't want to because I've not been doing much on Sonic Stadium, and I feel a little bad, but.
Well, nobody else is going.
Yeah, no one else is going.
I could really use the extra help.
Yeah, and currently you're going by yourself.
If you don't go, I am going to be doing this whole thing by myself. I'll be the one-man media show for 2 different websites.
You will be covering Sega, Atlas, and Bayonetta 2 at the Nintendo booth, all by your lonesome.
I know. I'm already been scheduling interviews.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I'm going to do about
it.
Yeah,
I should be going, and I am excited to be playing some Sonic Boom. Hopefully it won't suck. Hopefully, if it does suck, I'll be able to tell you that it sucks. Because one thing I can tell you about E3 is that the people who are there know how to make a bad game, seem not bad. Yes, they are such experts there. You know how they talk you through it, how they get all buddy with you, and how they, it's just they really try to taint the experience in their favor. I gotta write an article about that sometime, because I'm surprised people you don't really have news sites acknowledging that really E3 is it can be really hard to get an accurate reading of the game at E3.
I'm a little surprised we didn't get into this, but Shadow is coming to Sonic Boom.
What? What? Is this new or what?
No, I guess Shadow has been confirmed. I'm just trying to go through my RSS feeds to see what there actually is worth talking about, unless we want...
Well, not exactly. It's just that a source from reported to TSSZ that the Marine was not Marine, and that there would be a Shadow, and not Marine was confirmed, but that was confirmed basically by
Robotnik. Pollock. Mike
yeah,
Pollock.
I mean, let's be frank. Shadow's their second most popular character. He's going to be in there.
Yeah, the chances of Shadow not being in there is pretty slim, considering he's a fan favorite.
Oh God, I hope he is.
Oh yeah, I want him to be.
If there's anything I'd like to see Shadow in, it's a humorous,
comedy,
really kid-friendly comedy. That's like sticking Vegeta in a comedy.
Yes.
Well, there was rumors where he was going to show up in a Hawaiian shirt.
I'll take
looking
it.
like Magnum P.I.
Oh God, yes.
I'll take it.
I would
Sure.
love that.
Please.
Yeah, I'm looking through, and there ain't jack all except, I love me some TSSZ polls. 92% say this level should have been in this other thing. People want more content in a thing? Egad.
Now, GX, you shouldn't be talking about TSSC like this, or at all.
But they are my favorite source for nonsensical.
Hey, do we have to start talking about Ken Penders?
I wasn't against it too much. I just wanted to give Jason a hard time. Do you want to talk about Penders? Go ahead.
I don't really want to talk about Penders. Shut up.
Yes, because they're coming soon, eventually, sometime.
The stuff
An
of nightmare.
awful-looking CGI cartoon starring horribly designed furry animals and a not-so-horribly designed...
Well, they're not
reboot
furry
guy.
anymore. They're alien. They're not furries. They're ikinyas.
Aliens can be furries unless they are not covered in fur. Are they not covered in fur? Because technically Sonic's not covered in fur either, but we still call him a furry.
Well, do you consider Cosmo a furry?
Okay, what's Cosmo?
That's
the
the
green
alien
guy?
plant girl.
No, I consider her a planty or a leafy.
Okay. There you go. They are sentient plants. He is writing a comic about alien plants.
Echidnas are now aliens.
Okay.
And it's called...
They aren't actually
Wait. I think we're missing the big point then. He just pulled a Michael Bay. They're not animals that changed. They're aliens.
Well, aren't you're referencing the Ninja Turtle thing, right?
Didn't he take that back?
Yeah, they did, because I'm pretty sure
he's
they're
also
mutants
not
now.
attached to it. Well, I think he's still attached to it, but he's also not in charge of it. So
he produces the explosions. I'm pretty sure I've made that joke on here regarding something else before.
Most likely. It sounds like a good thing that would have been said.
Either way, that movie's probably going to suck something that's not... a word that is not explicit. God, that's...
Yeah, so basically, he's retitled the show, or the comic, or what... I don't even know what it is anymore.
It should have been a comic, now it's a show.
It is a vast multimedia experience coming only to D-Box.
Oh, God.
It's called The Laura Sue Chronicles Shattered Tomorrows.
So I'm going to make this
Shattered Fans Hope.
So I'm going to make this joke, and then you're going to tell me. So this is basically the Shattered Glass version of Laura Sue, right?
I'm guessing.
Okay, blah blah blah. That fell. So
But
Yeah.
you really failed at that delivery,
Probably.
man.
I don't know.
expect better from you.
What do you want from me? I don't actually give a crap about Transformers.
I want you to care about your humor, sir.
I care about...
I expect more from you.
I care about humor that I care about and know things about.
Okay. Anyway, Ken Penders is someone I do not care for anymore. I understand why you would fight to get the rights to your gosh darn characters,
and then mutate them horribly.
And then what you do is, instead of putting them in a comic book, which a man who can draw okay-ish at times and can kind of write good, or at least used to in the 90s, he can do both those things.
I want to say something real quick.
Yes?
His premiere issue of Sonic, I think it was 28 or 29, I read through that, and that was actually really good. It felt like a Sonic Sat
Sonic number 20...
The characters were actually behaved in a smart way.
Sonic number 27 and 28 were fun books.
Yeah.
Those were the books that got me into Sonic, as I oddly enough said earlier.
Well, I think it was the Echidnas. I think it was the Echidnas. The Echidnas
there were no Echidnas in Sonic number 27 and 28.
There weren't. But it was the Echidnas that got to him.
Oh, well,
that's what happened.
He's also the guy who made me a fan of Knuckles the Echidna. But yeah, I suppose that's probably
Sonic 3 made me a fan of Knuckles the Echidna.
Really go bad.
And someone on one of the forums is now saying that Ken was saying that Eggman Nega is a ripoff of Robotnik.
Anyway.
You mean Robotnik is a ripoff of Robotnik? Oh my god!
Eggman's a knockoff of Eggman who's a knockoff of Eggman? Robotnik is Robotnik. It's like saying Lex Luthor from Earth 2.
He also maintains he owns...
And there's nothing really different about him from the other one except for he came from another dimension.
He also maintains that he owns Evil Sonic. Evil Sonic, he has said he owns. How does this surprise you? This doesn't surprise me. It just makes me want to slap my face so hard that I will give myself a concussion, and then Jason will have to take over hosting duties, which I think that may be his plot all along by bringing this stuff up.
He says that now he has a handle on the real focus of the story. I'm like, it's been 3 years and you're just getting a handle on the focus of your story that you have 180 pages of script done for?
To finish my rant a little
He has enough script that he can do 2 graphic novels right now.
Yes, and he could. He can write, he can draw, he could get this thing done, and instead he's going to do something that will never see the light of day, or if it does, it will look considerably worse than a comic book telling the same darn story. I don't know why these big media people on the internet who have these grand visions always have to do stuff like this. No, we're not going to do some lowly comic book. We're going to do a movie. We're going to do a television show. We're going to do an animated series. Just start with the basics. Get a good story and write a freaking comic book. God damn it! And that's also what the people who may be familiar with Tracy Yardley may also be familiar with one of his comic books, Riding Shotgun. And they actually had a Kickstarter a couple weeks ago that involved, that was going to help kickstart a 3rd volume of that graphic novel to finish it up. But because it didn't meet their goal, they aren't the people behind it, not Yardley and the creator, but the other people, Tokyo Pop Publishing. They are going to put it towards a movie script, which will never see the light of day. The money that they got from that campaign. I kind of jumbled that up there, but they did on Indiegogo. They got to keep some of the money, even though they didn't reach their goal, and so they're going to put it towards a movie. And it's not going to go anywhere. And Penders is doing the same damn thing, and it's freaking stupid. Embarrassing.
The problem is he needs to pick a project and go with that first.
Oh yes, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Just focus.
No, that's not the problem.
One problem among a million different problems.
Okay.
That's the only reason why we're probably his project will never see the light of day.
He's got a complete.
It's not the reason why his project will suck, which unfortunately has to do with the fact that I guess some sort of brain parasite got into his head about a decade ago.
What we're gonna see is this thing is eventually going to be made in some capacity. There will be some sort of teaser trailer, and then directly after will be a video of a large alien just basically bursting straight out of his chest. Basically announcing, yes, this is the signal that the invasion has begun.
And what's weird is he's saying, unlike other Sonic comics, I'm keeping with my continuity from the from the 25 years later. Only he's completely changed the kidness to aliens,
He is
and
not
everything's
seriously
different.
calling this a Sonic comic, is he? Or a Sonic
No,
whatever
I mean
he's doing?
he's saying unlike other comics, I'm keeping my continuity.
Okay, so is he still doing a comic? Because
I guess he's still doing a comic because he's got 180 pages of script.
Okay.
All right.
No. What it's gonna be is they're gonna make the CG thing, and then they're gonna take the screenshots and turn it into one of those comics that are made from the screenshots of the movie.
Oh, I hope they do that, because that would be so awful. That would be just so
he's already
terrible
using
bad.
pictures for backgrounds. I mean, even this. One thing we didn't talk about since the last time we were on. There's two promotional images. One is the most horrifying look at Linda that you've ever seen in your life.
I'm not looking at
sure
that. Don't
and
link
I'm
me.
sure anybody who's listening to the site has seen it. So I'm not even gonna post anything about it. And that one is just absolutely awful. It wasn't done by him. He hired somebody who was a really good background CG artist, but that wasn't done by
There's
him.
only so much you can do with bad character design.
And he's got another piece of promo, and this one actually looks much better than Linda. I'll give it that.
When you say better, like we're talking like only within the realm of comparison.
It's like the difference.
Yes.
It's not in the awful range. It's in the mediocre range.
Now, I wouldn't even give it that. You're being very complimentary.
I'm being generous,
GX.
but I think it looks okay.
Are you talking about that the
my
human?
problem, though, with it is then I found out later that the background images were all taken off of, like, Google Image, off of other people's images.
I mean, so long as he used a stock image that he's allowed to use, I don't see an issue with that.
I want him to get sued because the owners will claim that they owned those images.
Oh, I hope so.
That would be
great.
Reciprocating court system.
Okay, so Jason, you told me before that, because I don't follow this stuff for the record. I don't follow the Penders stuff anymore. But you told me that he was not working on a comic book anymore. So is he actually working on a comic?
I don't know what he's doing with it. It's basically a project right now, and so it could be a comic book. It might be a animated series.
Alex, the answer to this is that he doesn't know what he's doing. Therefore, we don't know what he's doing.
Sorry, go on.
No, I'm done.
No, go on. You were going to say something.
True.
Something.
He doesn't know what he wants to do with it. He doesn't know if he wants to make it a movie. Does he want to make it a freaking, comic book, a graphic novel? What? Just pick something.
If Penders, if you somehow listen to this, or if one of your surrogates, such as your brain slave Bob R, that's his name, Bob R?
Bob R, yeah.
Yeah, Bob R communicates the contents of this podcast to you. I'd like to say that for the record, if you are actually still working on the graphic novel, I apologize for my earlier outburst. But not for anything else. Unless you want to come on the show, then I will totally apologize for everything else until you are done.
He got the rights
to
a Thayer. He got the rights to a Thayer from So then he goes, ooh, now that I have him, I know the perfect spot to put him in. So now he's doing rewrites to stick the character in.
I like
that. Then he says stuff like, I just discovered who someone else's parentage is. Because basically
like Mike Gallagher.
I keep I think what it is he's got these. The whole 180-page script is basically a rough draft after 3 years, and he just keeps wanting to add to it and change it a lot.
Well, maybe this means that he's improving it, I guess. I mean, rewrites could be a very good thing. I mean, it won't keep it from being ugly unless he hires a character designer, but either way, I'm probably not going to read it.
I just looked up some information.
I'm mostly interested in it and what a train wreck it's become. I'm not even mad at him anymore. I'm just interested in what's.
I'm sure I'll get over it one day.
You were kind of talking about this, and it just led me to do a quick Google search.
Yes.
Okay. Am I talking now?
Yes. Okay. You'll have to stick.
I just did a preliminary Google search because I did not know this. Apparently, Ken Penders was one of the main writers of Sonic Live, the comic, and the cover artist.
And I'm pretty sure the kids in it were like either his. Not his kids. His niece and nephew, I think. But I know they were related to him anyway.
And if you've ever seen that cover, it will cause nightmares.
Yes, it will, because unfortunately he has his weird.
No, even among his.
I might be dropping off the call in a minute or something.
Even among his, it's pretty darn creepy. There's some weird eye stuff going on in there.
Yeah, can you hear me right now?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. There's a problem with this call. Hold on while we try to get the call. Oh, we lost Jason. Well, that's fine. Anyway, so what were you saying, GX?
I pasted the Sonic Live cover into the chat window, and I'm highlighting how unfathomably creepy it is.
Yeah, I mean, he had this weird, creepy way of drawing eyes on Sonic characters.
That is beyond creepy.
Just said, but,
between the eyes and the mouth, and I would like you to put this as the MP3 art, please.
Sonic is popping out of the television and grabbing a kid by the arm and is going to pull him back into a world of terror and torment, I think.
You mean Echo the Dolphin?
Hey, Echo the Dolphin is an awesome game. Don't insult Echo the Dolphin.
You are mostly right. Echo the Dolphin is a game. We work well together. We work terribly together.
I remember when photo comics were still kind of a thing that you sometimes did, and was not considered a completely awful and horrible idea. This was the only one I read.
When was this? When was this magical era?
It was actually technically the 1980s before I was born, but I'm aware of it through Linkara, so.
Okay. Well, I am not going to imply that the 1980s had particularly good taste.
I'm not saying that they were good comics. I'm pretty sure they were mostly awful comics, or so-so movie adaptations.
So are we actually going to wait for Jason to get back, or are we just going to plow forward into oblivion?
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of done talking now. I think people are probably tired of listening to us.
No one's ever done listening to me.
Right,
not yet.
Jason is actually no longer even in this call. How do I bring him back?
Probably by adding people.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I kind of suck at Skype.
Let's see if I can do it. Because I am excellent at what I do.
No, you aren't.
I'm Wolverine.
You're just better at it than me, and that's not really saying much. Oh, wait a minute, there's a plus sign. Plus sign.
I don't even see him.
Add people to this call. Yes, there you are. Top Hat. Top Hat McHedgebutt. That is what I call him in my Skype, you know.
That is what you call him in your dreams.
That is how much respect I have for him.
Your wet dreams.
I have much respect. What did you say?
I said that's what you call him in your dreams, your wet dreams.
Yes, that is creepy. My dreams are not wet.
I really, really, really want to make an off-color comment right there, but I am resistant.
Yes, make it! Be the more obscene one in a podcast for once. I encourage it.
No, I just spent the last 2-3 days working on Cards Against Humanity expansion cards. I don't think I have it in me right now.
Oh man, those were some funny cards, man. Oh god damn it!
So
yeah, we are totally keeping all this in, by the way.
So So in the meantime, I'm going to plug my upcoming project.
Oh, Jason signed off. Yeah, plug your project.
So, the Spin Dash is not completely ending. You may know it as the podcast, Sonic-related discussion podcast that I've hosted for a good couple of years, but has been on and off hiatus for a very long time. I am changing the structure of what it is. The website you can now go to is nevershutup.com. We are no longer just the Spin Dash. We are developing a multimedia hub where we're going to have all these CG aliens who are also animals. And it might be a comic, it might be a movie. We haven't decided yet. But effectively what it's going to be is it's going to be a collection of different shows, different activities, different events. And we have just finally started to nail down what our launch window is going to look like. We are going to retain the Spin Dash, but in a much abbreviated form, mostly focusing on just news and just Sonic discussion, without as much fluff, which we had a lot of fluff in the old structure.
Yeah, if you want fluff, you can just come to Sonic Talk. We have lots of fluff.
Indeed. We are going to not host Horsepower Comics, but we are going to make sure that you can link directly to there from the website.
And you will enjoy the pony
You
comics.
will enjoy them. I work hard on there. They are the thinking man's pony comics or something, which means most of the people that read them either don't get them or don't think they're that funny, if they are into it. And they would much rather read comics where Derpy does something stupid.
But Derpy is awesome.
Derpy is okay.
Cute.
Derpy is
and totally the daughter of the Doctor Who horse.
Yes, I know you're trying to get my goat on that. But anyhow, further, we are going to be linking to Evil Dr. Reef's virtual Formula One league, in which he and his friends have created a virtual Formula D league and continue to race with that. We are going to have Saber Pilot's gender studies blog, in which she relates different anime, different books, different video games to different events in gender studies, reviews, discussions, that kind of things.
Sounds awesome.
We are going to have one thing that I'm particularly proud of. Tentatively, it is called Oh, the Humanity. And the premise is Reef and I can make Cards Against Humanity expansions that don't suck. Unfortunately, most fan expansions of Cards Against Humanity suck. Ours do not.
Of course, the sucking and the not sucking is completely objective.
No. In this case, it's pretty objective. Most fan expansions that I've seen, and most fan expansions that he's seen, have been quite terrible. I only realized this as soon as he told me that basically, hey, these ones that you made over the summer this one year, yeah, they're better than most of the stuff out there, which I was skeptical at first, and then I saw some of the ones that are out there. And I realized, maybe it's not that I'm talented, maybe it's just that other people who like this thing just aren't very good at it.
And GX, I want to let you talk, but first, I gotta give a shout out to Jason, who's been off the call for like 15 minutes, and he's back online now. So I'm going to try to add him to the call and see what happens.
Okay.
And then you can keep talking.
Okay.
JC Wasey! Sorry, Jason Barry.
Hi.
Man, people are going to get the wrong idea about that. So, GX, you were saying about plugging your thing. Oh. Okay. So, GXE Kidnas, you was saying.
But effectively, we're expecting to launch sometime. Probably at this point, it's going to be late June, depending on what my future work prospects look like. Our last segment that we are going to launch with, I'm talking about NeverShutUp.com, my new multimedia hub.
New multimedia website called Never Shut Up, which will actually have the pony comics on them, sort of, kind of. I mean, linking to them anyway.
Yes. And finally, the last segment that we expect to launch with is the quote site, Evil Dr. Reef's collection of various quotes that he himself has made or has heard in real life. They are particularly hilarious, and you can also buy his book on Amazon. It is called The Quote Book, and let me make sure I get the title exactly right.
And who knows, there might also be another Sonic-themed podcast on there, perhaps, though. Perhaps not. We have to discuss certain things.
When you go onto Amazon.com, you want to search for something that does not come up very easily. There we go. The Quote Book, An Honest Portrayal of Useless People by Jim Ed Reef. Your best bet is to just search EDREEF. And it is awesome.
Gotta check that thing out sometime. You linked it to me a couple times. It looks funny, but I'm always hesitant to buy stuff that I'm not completely familiar with.
It is only $8.88 currently in paperback, and it is Prime eligible.
Ooh,
and
nice.
For some reason, there are some new and used offers. I don't know why. So, yeah.
So, okay, so you kind of plugged your thing in the... I'm not sure if we were actually done, so perhaps in the middle of the show. Yeah. Anyway, do we have anything else to address? Aside from the way I say address at the moment.
You can now get to Horsepower much more easily. I just purchased the domain horsepowercomics.com, and it will link you directly to the site.
I was referring to Sonic stuff. That's cool.
I like plugging myself.
Do we have any more Sonic stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like we're kind of done here. I feel like if we keep going, we're just going to be annoying people.
Well, we do have to mention, I guess, E3, because, I said...
we kind of already did. I mean, technically nothing that was going to be there, but I don't know.
Okay, is there anything you're excited for?
Well, let's see. I guess I'm always excited for the latest Sonic game. I'm hoping that maybe Sega's going to have some sort of digital re-releases of Dreamcast games or something, but they've been pretty tame with that stuff lately. I am looking forward to checking out Atlas stuff as an actual part of my job, rather than just being there because I'm kind of curious about that beat 'em up game starring the lady with the big boobies.
Hey, there's.
But
I'm hoping to get some interviews.
We're gonna have another Nintendo and Sega crossover then.
Oh yeah, because Bayonetta and all that.
No,
Wait,
Fire Emblem and Persona, or Shin Megami Tensei.
E3 though, as far as I know. But I forgot about that. Yeah.
Another Nintendo crossover.
Yep, another Nintendo Sega crossover.
I am looking forward to at least seeing more of what the Sonic Boom game is going to be like. I just don't have much of an idea of what it's going to be, and I'm just hoping to be a bit more relieved about it whenever I see some actual gameplay.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit worried because it's not usually this far along before they usually by now they show.
Usually by now they shoot themselves in the foot and show the massive thing that they've changed that was completely ignored in the first teaser trailer.
Yeah, when they're this silent, you start to get a little worried.
I don't know. I have faith.
I'm
going to be blindly optimistic.
I'm not seriously worried about it, but I would like to see more of it just so I can get a grasp on what kind of game it's actually going to be.
I'm very curious on what Sanzaro is going to do with the 3DS version.
Also true.
Because they do a great job with this.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I am interested to see what the heck Nintendo is going to attempt in order to pull themselves out of the pit that they are in. Which means, honestly, if they're desperate, that means they're going to start doing some interesting things. And
I don't know. When they were desperate in 2003, they gave us the Game Boy Advance, GameCube link cable. I don't really call that interesting.
I don't know if that was as desperate as they are right now.
Now they're doing Nintendo Skylanders basically with these
Now we don't know what they're
figures.
doing with those yet. Let's be honest. We don't know what they're doing with those until they actually announce something, because clearly they're Smash Brothers is going to use it somehow, but we have no clue how they're going to do it. We are going to have... I don't know. It sounds like they're going to work with multiple games, which seems like it might be interesting, and considering that...
They might get it to backwards compatible with Mario Kart.
Possibly. That seems a little weird, but I'm looking forward to seeing this... Perhaps the most interesting thing, this GameCube adapter announced today.
Oh yeah. It's essentially gonna bring the GameCube controller to the Wii U for Smash Brothers.
I.e. the Wavebird controller, i.e. the only controller you'd ever want for that game.
Well, I don't know. The Wii remote was kind of cool.
Did you hear about
I guess
Target's doing these AR cards for Nintendo eShop cards that are AR cards?
Yep, they work with that new take a picture with Mario app or something.
Yeah, it's just like the ones with the normal AR cards, but they're
cool.
exclusive
They're
ones,
cute.
And they're a little more advanced than the AR ones we have now.
They're cool and they are cute.
But it's a cool idea because they get people to shop at the eShop, and I guess Target to get people to shop.
I'm praying they show off more of X, and hoping that they announce that it might be this year, but that's a bit of a long shot.
There's a strong rumor they're gonna finally announce a new Zelda, which they kind of desperately
I don't know.
I don't think that's gonna do anything.
They just announced Hyrule Warriors. I mean, I don't think Hyrule Warriors is going to be worth.
Yeah, but Hyrule Warriors is pretty much a very low level, Zelda game compared to.
I know, but if they want it to if they announced an actual legitimate new Zelda game, they would basically be taking that game out back and shooting it. Like that is really what
I doubt that. It's a very
different Zelda game, but it's a Zelda game. Maybe Japan will care about it because for some reason Japan loves this series and I have no clue why. But honestly, if we get an actual, real, legitimate Zelda Zelda announcement, I mean, who is going to pre-order the stupid Dynasty Warriors Zelda game whenever there's the actual Zelda game that people actually want?
I will, because I am desperate for Wii U
Zelda
games.
game ain't gonna come out till at least 2015.
I know, but still.
And Hyrule Warriors is coming out this summer.
Still. If they come out with anything, I hope they just announce a 3DS remake of Majora's Mask.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I could deal with that. I guess I'm hoping Sony comes up with something to sell someone like me on the next generation of consoles, because right now I'm not really seeing anything.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be stuff.
This is what's going to be interesting is between Sony and Microsoft, because now they got a connectless Xbox One, so they're kind of they're going to be at an even level almost, although God knows PS4 is still about double the amount of sales right now. But at least it'll make people more interested in the system, I believe, and if they can come out with some great software that's better exclusive software than Sony's exclusive software, that might win a lot more people over. Like Sunset Overdrive looks absolutely fantastic. It's by the Ratchet and Clank guys at Insomniac, and I mean it's got a little bit of a mix of Ratchet and Clank, a little mix of Dead Rising. It's got some grinding similar to Jet Set Radio.
I am
I mean it looks like
I am
awesome
interested in that.
And I'm loving Titanfall right now, so I'm interested in playing Titanfall on Xbox One sometime.
I am interested in that game, but sadly, I don't. The extent to which I do not like the Xbox One will forever prevent me from getting it. Hey, here's some interesting news related to Sega. Football Manager 2014 is having their Summer Samba sale, which shows, I guess, a Brazil flag and floral print and some guy holding maracas.
We are not the Segabits podcast. We are the Sonic Talk podcast.
Hey, but it's Samba de Amigo
we
and
care
that
less
Sonic
about
team.
Football
I don't know.
Manager.
Yeah, Football Manager is stupid.
Well, we're Americans. We don't care
All
about
I am
soccer.
saying is that
Yes, it's not football, it's soccer.
all I am saying is that now that Steam has the in-home streaming feature, I don't know if I will ever buy a new console. That is not Nintendo. Until Sony releases Ratchet and Clank, the next one.
Maybe we'll maybe they'll announce that.
I can dream, or they can at least show it off a trailer for that movie. And
Anyway,
hopefully
so,
bury the
if-
Sly
if-
Cooper
if-
movie
if
deep
we're talking about
underground.
Football Manager now, I think that means we're done.
Yes. No, it
Yeah,
means
really.
Yeah,
it
we're
means we
done.
were done
The
5
other
hours
thing,
ago.
God damn it.
about E3 that I'm interested in is they're going to have the Oculus Rift there, and I've
Oh,
always
yeah,
wanted to try that out.
I gotta try that too, though. I wonder if it's gonna be a kind of a mild disappointment, like that handheld gaming console from NVIDIA was.
Bring disinfectant
Oh, I've
wipes.
seen some Russian videos where they had people standing in place and they had them like on this little roller coaster that was slowly going till it jumped, and they had this like feeling of not sure what's the vertigo so badly they kept almost falling over and people were having to catch them while they were just riding on that thing. It was freaking people out.
Well, I think that'll do it. So,
Yeah, that's pretty
yeah.
much it.
So we're gonna stop wasting your time now. If you're still listening, congratulations.
You have
made it to
proved
the end
the-
of yet another Sonic
You
Talk
have
podcast.
proved our great culture. Now go rest our heroes.
Yes. We
Shame
have
we didn't get the
we have
comics,
added
but
something.
we started running out of
We have
time.
added something valuable and necessary to the world.
I was referencing
by
the
creating this podcast.
I was referencing the ending of the Ghostbusters NES game.
Well, I only heard like half of what you said because the connection was breaking up a bit. So I guess went with what I heard. So we're Sonic Talk and we're done talking and I'm tired and it's 11:18 where I am. So Jason, how do we usually end these things?
You let me read off about 3
we don't have a
Cards Against
catchphrase.
Humanity cards I created.
Right, we don't have a catchphrase, do we? We need a catchphrase. GX, what's a good catchphrase?
Money hats.
No.
Let's see. An 8.9 review from IGN.
I think you could do better than that. I think you're being lazy.
Rolling Stone.
Okay, that's really lazy, but I'll take it.
Game over, yeah!
And this has
Yeah,
been the
let's end
year
with
of
that.
Luigi.
Okay, so
That's dead. Luigi's over.
Luigi is dead.
Just end with the DuckTales moon theme.
I don't know. I don't know the DuckTales movie.
I could hum it like right now.
Well, I did not own that on the NES. I own Jackal. I did not know any of the themes from Jackal either, but that is just a thing that I.
You are a jackhole.
Maybe we should just keep talking until the person listening just shuts us off because they're sick of us. I could go with that. We'd like to have the longest
I'm just going
podcast.
to edit this whole thing
No,
down.
no
That's what I'm gonna
editing. No.
I know the perfect end, the perfect ending to it. Everyone go to e3mysteries.wordpress.com. The end.
Yes.
do. E3 Mysteries?
The end. Peace out, everyone.
Yes. Yes. Bye. Go away.
Goodbye. Bread's done.
Hey, everybody. everybody, and welcome to the addendum of the Sonic Talk podcast. Now, it took Jason a couple days to put it together, because, this is hard work, and it takes
Editing
time.
sucks.
So
Let's just be frank. Editing sucks.
So some big news
Right.
happened. The Sonic Boom news. And, Jason, what happened?
Monday, we all of a sudden got Game Explain had gameplay video of both the Wii U version and the 3DS version, and offered their own opinions on the different previews, because they got to spend 2 hours with the Wii U version and an hour with
Well, that's not all that happened.
3DS
We also got
version.
lots of new info.
Yeah, we got lots of info from that. And
For one, to no one's surprise, Sonic Boom is coming to E3. And
You mean whenever they
slightly
said
more
that it was?
surprising to
yeah, they said that was coming to E3 far before this.
Oh well, this was the official confirmation.
You mean
And
aside
they
from
got-
the other
They-
official
they made it part of the
confirmation?
announcement. Hey, they made it part of the announcement, so I consider it a reconfirmation.
It is now officially canon that this game will be at E3.
And then they did announce that they'll be coming out in November of this year.
Yeah,
Cool.
which again isn't really surprising because it was either going to be November or October.
Just in time to
Hell,
sell
I think
terribly
Sonic-
compared to
Sonic
Brawl
Lost World
or
only got October
Smash
like a
Brothers.
day.
So
Anyway, somewhat more surprising is Not Marine is playable. Which
That's not
GX
surprising.
saw coming,
That's
but
not surprising.
I did not, because I thought she was just going to be a story character from the show. You know?
No,
looks like
they
she'll
w-
probably be an NPC in the Wii version, but she's definitely a playable character in the 3DS version.
They wouldn't give...
Which I guess means that she has super speed.
They all have super speed. They all freaking do. It's a video game. They all
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Though they tried to retcon that at some point for Knuckles and Tails and make them slow.
Nobody cares.
I think that was Sonic 06.
Nobody cares.
Hey, Sonic fans care.
Exactly.
Not when you're playing
We
the
care
game.
about
You want everybody
everything.
to be fast, not just Sonic.
Yeah. Anyway, let's try and make this little thing worthwhile. So we got the whole Enter Beams thing. We got 2D levels in the 3DS version, which is a little disappointing for me because I was looking forward to another 3D title. But given that the 3D title is looking very different from typical Sonic, it's probably for the best that we got something that's more Sonic-y on the 3DS.
Well, they did say there were large 3D levels. You actually have to have a world map on the bottom just to cover all of it, and there'll be puzzle elements where you're opening different doors to go through, and there's lots of different baddies in that as well. It's looking all right now on the 3DS. I don't know if it looks spectacular or anything. There's definitely some automated speed sections that I've seen in it.
I would say both versions look okay.
It is the thinking man's Sonic game.
Yeah, I'm gonna, of course, reserve judgment fully on it till me and Alex get to play it next week at E3.
Yes, God willing.
Yeah, but it's looking all right so far on the 3DS. It's done by Sanzaru Games, who did Ratchet and Clank 4 and did a great job with that, and the Ratchet and Clank HD collection.
They did. You mean Sly Cooper 4?
Sly Cooper. I'm so sorry.
And Sly Cooper collection.
Sly Cooper. I got Ratchet and Clank on the brain right now. Yeah, it's the Sly
They did
Cooper,
Ratchet
It's the
Deadlock.
other
Sly
guys-
Cooper 4 and Sly Cooper
Everyone's
HD
favorite Ratchet and
collections.
Clank game.
It's the other guys that apparently worked on
Well,
Ratchet and Clank
they mostly
PSP
worked
or
on
something.
Crash Bandicoot and Jak and Daxter. That was their main stuff, that big red button. So yeah, the 3DS one's looking alright. We'll have a lot more info for you next week. Let's go ahead and, I guess, concentrate mainly on the Wii U version. That's the main version everyone's talking about. The
You
Rise
can
of the
concentrate on both.
It looks okay. It looks kind of like a Ratchet and Clank game, except with all the cool weapons
Well, that's
and
what I said,
stuff.
but the
kind of
robots are very
dragged out.
Ratchet and Clankish to me in terms of design.
Yeah. Though apparently the developers mostly worked on Jak and Daxter.
Yeah.
So
I just feel...
I don't have much
And,
experience
and
with
to
Jak
me,
and
the art
Daxter.
layout just kind of looks like Ratchet and Clank, but it's chopped up into different sections. There's certain ones they showed, like There's a speed boost section that's similar to like Sonic Generations and that, where you're going at full speed, grabbing rings and just dodging obstacles. There doesn't seem to be any enemies in the path that was at least shown in the videos. The thing that's bugging me is if you compare that speed section to the speed section they showed in the original trailer back in February, there seems to be a lot less lighting and detail than there was originally. And it could be that it's just in like alpha design or what have you, but that's a little concerning there.
They really didn't show off that much.
Development.
They really didn't show off that much in the terms of like actual gameplay, did they?
Yeah, we really only saw like
just the slightest amount of visuals.
Gameplay.
You could see a lot more lighting and shadowing than what you see.
It was a teaser. It was a teaser. You cannot expect that. This is like the levels of, hey, my watchdog isn't perfectly in line with everything I saw leading up like 4 years ago. I was misled.
This was 3 months ago, and I'm not one to complain about 900p, that's for darn sure.
Well, the thing about teasers is that when you have a teaser that short, it's really easy to make a game look good.
It's a bullshot.
You could make Sonic 06 look good with a teaser like that. So I don't know.
It's a bullshot. It's just it's a
personally,
first off, your first mistake is to place any investment at all in a Sonic teaser. Because if you are placing investment in the Sonic teaser, you are basically not learning from history.
That is the truth.
Like, I don't... My biggest issue right now with people's response to it, and even your response to it, Jason, is just...
Yeah, I think I'm being very reasonable.
I don't have a lot of disagreements with what you're saying. My problem is, and this is the same problem I'm hearing, like, with at least one other podcast that I'm listening to, people that I authentically respect, I think people were coming into this expecting it to be a Sonic game. And that's not what they displayed, and I think that was, if you actually understood the context and the development of an animated program, that's ridiculous to expect. Look at the Pac-Man game based on the Pac-Man cartoon. Like, were you expecting him to run around mazes, eating a bunch of pellets and escaping the ghosts?
That's a little different. But, are you saying that you're expecting this to be a, not really a Sonic game, but
I'm expecting this to be
more of a video game based off a cartoon license?
Yeah. Isn't that exactly what it is?
I'm personally not really approaching this as really a Sonic game so much as it's just a licensed title, which kind of worries me because television licensed titles tend to suck. But
hold on.
That
Pac-Man game was kind of just mediocre.
I
had fun. I had a little bit of fun with it, but
okay.
It wasn't great.
Hold on. First off, you are running on a presumption that is fairly old. I am not saying that most television games still don't suck. But
I've played several recently.
We are still in an era where licensed games are getting better. And Sega and Sonic Team are trying to launch a cartoon, and Big Red Button's trying to launch a cartoon. This isn't a situation where... let me finish.
This is their first major game.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Let GX finish. I want to hear what he has to say so I can reply.
Okay, this is the core difference. This game is not being developed after the cartoon has released and gained popularity. It doesn't have the same amount of crunch time that that games that are more closely tied to existing franchises have. They at least have a little bit more leeway. Big Red Button is, as from what you've actually told me yourself, they
Yeah,
were the ones to help. Okay, shut up.
Yeesh.
Shut
I'm saying,
up
wasn't
and
Big
let
Red
me
Button the designer of a lot of the characters?
Will you please let me finish, for God's
They were
sakes?
working on this before the cartoon was...
Yes, and I was exactly...
Yeah, they were the guys who
trying to
designed
help your
the
point
characters.
here.
As I recall.
You're interrupting exactly what I am saying to you. Okay, shut up and let me finish. For God's sakes. You're like my kids. Okay. As you said, they have an investment in this thing doing well. They have the reasoning to actually put forth the effort. And if you look at the current gameplay videos, it doesn't look like you would expect a licensed game to look in the same way that you would say like the latest Phineas and Ferb game on DS or anything like that. It still looks like a game. It still has graphic design like a game. It does not look like licensed trash. And I think you have to come to it with the perspective that it is being used to sell a cartoon, but it is the game that is being used to sell the cartoon, not the game piggybacking off the popularity of a cartoon. It would be like if a Skylanders cartoon got made, which I'm amazed that they haven't done anything similar. They came up with the idea with the game and the characters and the designs, and then they're building things around that. It's not necessarily the other way around in this case.
Well, yeah, that being said, though, to me, it still looks fairly average. And to be honest, even if you take away anything that has to do with Sonic, even as a Sonic game, it just looks kind of average and dull to me. It doesn't look like anything that's gonna excite me to buy the game.
Here's my question: like, what kind of games in this vein do you actually like and are excited for and get into? Like, do you get into the Sly series? Do you get into the Ratchet and Clank series? Do those games make you excited? Do you get into the Skylander series? Does that make you excited?
Yeah, but like I was saying, even the Pac-Man that was shown last year at E3, that looked just very average and dull. It didn't have quite that quality, and I'm not even seeing it here. Even if you taken Sonic out, the boss battle looks all right from what they showed with him and the others fighting Eggman. But the combat levels, they just seemed the land just seemed very empty, and it's just you switching between Sonic and Knuckles, and then just doing their abilities, and them just going around very slowly to do combat. But I didn't see anything there that really excited me. There wasn't that wow factor whatsoever in what I've seen here. I mean, the Amy one looked all right with her platforming sections.
I think what we're running into in this situation is this is kind of a situation where this is probably just not going to be for you and the types of games that you play. This is going to be a kids game, and I mean, I will rail on.
Hey, I like kids games. I have to be top Skylanders fan.
I will rail on what Sega said previously about Sonic Unleashed and their attitude. Well, it sold well to kids, and my attitude is, well, you know what? That's not a good enough reason to make these mistakes that you're making, to make these design problems, and to accept them. In this case, I think it just is a situation where I think that for the audience that is clearly going to be for, that is A, gonna be good enough, and B, they really aren't trying to expand it in a huge way. I don't think they really are trying to grab the big long-term Sonic fans with this. I think they really are seriously trying to rebuild the franchise or at least spin off the franchise in such a way that's going to grab kids.
If they're not trying to get at least a little bit of the Sonic fans, and that to me,
Jason,
that's a huge
I
mistake.
haven't.
No, it's...
Jason, I have an interesting thing to say. I was just checking my emails, and my Comic-Con press pass has just been approved.
What?
Yes.
Oh my god, I gotta check my email.
But
That's interesting.
this is just...
I'm sorry.
This is just... This is just going to be...
You just interrupted this conversation with a huge freight train, didn't you?
I think this is just going to be a decent... Like, my expectation is it's going to be a decent Saturday morning style, cartoonish action platformer game. I don't think it... I don't expect it to be a super standout, this is the best version of this vague genre. I expect it to be decent. I expect it to show off all the things that they want to show off and introduce all the things they want to introduce for the cartoon series. And I expect it to launch a cartoon series. I just think that it's a bit unreasonable to look at this as a long-term Sonic fan, someone who plays every single Sonic game every single year, and say, yeah, this is definitely intended for me, because the character designs clearly aren't supposed to be. The character, it's supposed to be a more... It's supposed to be a modern take on Sonic, based on what modern kids seem to be enjoying in design right now. And I just think that if you're expecting the big, in-depth, mature Sonic game, you came into it with the wrong mentality.
Now, if I may chime in, well, by and large, I don't hate what I've been seeing. I prefer to
just
give.
a little concerned
Hey, come on! I want to talk.
What is it with you and interrupting today?
I want to talk. Anyway, I like. Great. Now I'm going to repeat myself. No, I'm not going to repeat myself. Yes, I like what I'm saying, but I don't hate it anyway. And like the gameplay videos, they look entertaining. It doesn't. The thing about Side Lost World is that, like, those teasers, they just blow you away, because you have these amazing looking spherical, cylindrical worlds that look just so gosh darn creative and bright and fun, and and well, the actual game unfortunately wasn't all that, and the level design really did not take advantage of everything that they were talking about. And so, with Sonic Boom, it does at least look fun at a base level. It looks like maybe Ratchet and Clank with all the weapons removed, or maybe, I don't know. Great. I'm just rambling right now. I'm just rambling. Okay, I'm gonna. Damn it! I'm
what
tired.
you're
I had the GX your thing went so long. I had all these things I wanted to say, and I immediately forgot.
You're trying to express that it looks like a character action platformer, and it looks like a character action.
Yeah, it looks like a character action platformer that isn't terrible. I will agree with you that it does look better than, say, Transformers Prime. Looks way better than Young Justice. And I'm not saying that just because it's a licensed title means it's gonna suck. But I was just saying that it does just leave me just a little bit skeptical. And I feel like I'm inclined to be. I feel like I'm allowed to be a little bit skeptical about any game that is specifically tied to the launch of a cartoon series and can't be delayed for quality reasons. It can't. It's probably being controlled in some fashion that's out of the hands of the developers, for good or for ill. Because at the very least, Sega is the company making any final design decisions. But that's just what worries me about licensed products: is that developers have their hands tied more so than with just their own games.
I can buy that then. Yeah, that is probably a reasonable worry. I'm just used to. I'm just looking at a lot of recent glowing examples of licensed products that I have personally enjoyed. Stuff like some of the better Adventure Time games.
I do have a question for you. Are most of these games from Way Forward?
I know. You know what? That's probably it. That's probably it.
Yeah. See, because pretty much every good licensed title I can think of is from Way Forward.
Yeah, there's plenty of good licenses
to do with
Way Forward.
with cartoons anyway. Yeah, I mean, Batman Brave and the Bold, Adventure Time. I never played regular show, but those two television show.
I haven't heard great things about regular show games.
Yeah, I haven't played it, but I love regular show, so I don't want to bash it till I've tried it.
I'm just passing on what I've heard. So, but yeah, I guess that is definitely a reasonable worry. I would say, yeah, if that is what you're concerned about, I would say that might be it. But I think this is just, I guess maybe I just have a little bit more faith in terms of if they are doing one thing to launch another, that they would make sure that the first thing has all its ducks in a row, or at least is on fairly good track before they start making the big announcements of the other things. But it might just it might just be me giving them too much credit.
Using that logic, you'd think that Sonic 2006 would have at least been mediocre. Because that game had a lot of writing on it. Sonic's first next-generation title, Sonic's big 15th anniversary title, the big return to Sonic Adventure gaming style, all these things.
There was a bigger issue involving that game and the new high-definition consoles and nobody knowing what to do. And let's be frank, Japan had a heck of a time trying to wrap their brain around HD. And I mean, look at where they were coming from before that. They were coming from Sonic Heroes. They were coming from Shadow the Hedgehog. Those games, let's be honest, those games look terrible.
I don't think Sonic Heroes is a bad game. I don't think Sonic Heroes is a bad game.
I think Sonic Heroes is a mediocre game that I like more than it probably deserves, but it is not a good-looking game. Their models are terrible. Their environments are okay, but it's just not... that is not a game that you can push to an HD console, and I don't know. Okay, we're not turning this into what went wrong with Sonic 06 talk.
Yeah, we really shouldn't, because this is already running longer than it should have.
So, but I guess I just have faith. I'm absolutely looking forward to the cartoon, but I also love and can watch kids' cartoons very easily. I watch the new Turtles cartoon on a regular basis. If it's anywhere,
kids cartoons, but I don't like stupid kids cartoons, so I don't like Uncle Grandpa.
That doesn't count.
So long as this is not like Uncle Grandpa, then I think I'll be.
I don't think anything is like Uncle Grandpa. I don't think.
And apologies for any fans of Uncle Grandpa.
No, don't apologize to those people. I know one of them. And he's one of my favorite musical artists, and I'm not going to apologize to him. That show is bad.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Alex, how long ago...
My opinion hasn't...
sorry, Alex, how long ago did you receive that email?
I think I received it like an hour ago, because I checked earlier today, and... I didn't have it, but anyway. But my opinion has not really been changed, which is I will see how it plays. I have no opinion. That's why I'm having such difficulties talking about it, because the gameplay did not leave an impression on me. The trailers.
Yeah, it hasn't left any impression on me either. I mean, I'm just of course cautiously optimistic. But the best thing we could do is just wait till it comes out and check it out for ourselves. But so far, I'm not very impressed with what I've seen, and I hope it's actually better than what the previews have shown.
Maybe I just was expecting less than you guys. I am a little bit more
No, I was
impressed.
pretty
I'm
much
not
in,
expecting
I wasn't
anything. I'm not
expecting much at
expecting
all.
anything. And I still don't know what to expect. My opinion is just completely unchanged. My expectations are literally just neutral right now.
Well, I don't. Let's be frank. For you to have as well, okay, maybe not Alex, but Jason, for you to have as much of a response to it as you did, you clearly had at least some sort of.
I had middle-ranged expectations, and it seems lower.
And it's
than
not
that.
living up to your middle range.
No,
and it's not
because
okay.
even in the preview, they're saying that the combat was better in Sonic Unleashed than what they've seen so far in this game.
Okay, that cannot be right because Sonic. Oh wait, unless you're talking about the
They're talking
Werehog.
about the Werehog combat, yes.
All right. Okay.
But
I can kind of see that.
Yeah, they
combat
even though,
wasn't too bad.
The one guy was pretty much a big Sonic fan. They haven't been too, pleased with how this demo is turning out. But they also are saying it seemed very in alpha build. There was a lot of frame rate issues and texture pop-in and clipping. So it could be, plus it was a very long demo, which is uncharacteristic of E3, so it could be they got a pre-alpha build to play around.
Do you know what the context was for this release? Was it a special event? Was it just this site that was, or this video series that was just...
multiple websites have played the game, but I'm not sure how.
It must have been an event because there's multiple websites that got to check it out.
Okay.
I mean, it's possible that maybe Sega just took a visit to their offices last month with a Wii U.
I think if anything's going to be telling about the future of this game and how well that it actually plays out is if this is the E3 build, and that is what they've got, then I think there's reason to be worried. I maybe it might just be paranoia on my part. It might just be.
Well, actually, I completely agree with you because E3 builds, I mean, they are typically pretty indicative of what the actual game is. I mean, in terms of maybe frame rate will usually be improved, controls will be changed slightly, but
I don't feel comfortable going that far saying an E3 build is typically indicative. I think that.
Well, I've played enough of them at this point. Right? Let's wait and see. And it's like, yeah, the frame rate's slightly better, but nothing much else.
That's very
changed.
true of the Sonic games. I haven't played a Sonic E3 demo where this is just off a build. It'll improve in time, and usually there's barely been a thing that's changed.
So
except for Sonic Generations had a.
Okay, so you mean in terms of Sonic then? Okay, then I can't.
Actually, I'm talking about in terms of the games I'm actually talking about in terms of the scope of the games I've played that are coming out within the next 6 months.
Okay, that's reasonable. I'm just hoping it is as alpha build as it is. I mean, I obviously if this is what they are even calling a beta, maybe that would be concerning, but at least from what they've shown, I've been relatively impressed. Maybe I was expecting it to be more cash in than you guys were, or maybe I was expecting it to be just a bit. I don't even know, but
my expectations were at least that this was should be a reputable developer given the history. I mean, these are guys that have worked on Jak and Daxter, Uncharted, some PSP ports of Ratchet and Clank and such.
That doesn't mean much until they actually have a game out, because there are people there, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the programmers. You don't necessarily know the exact people and which exact people did which exact part and which exact people were responsible for which parts of which. I mean, there are plenty of opportunities where there can be newly formed studios that have great pedigrees, but there might not necessarily be the people behind them that were responsible for those games. I don't think that's a good test of.
That is true, because there are plenty of there are plenty of awful games that come from great developers that just didn't have the right people.
No,
on
it's
them,
not. It's not
you
even
know?
that. It's just a matter of okay, who was responsible for level design? Is it anybody on this team, or was it someone that's still working at Naughty Dog?
Actually, I think it's. I believe Jason told me that it's Chris Sen from Sonic Extreme.
He's one.
Okay.
He's
Is that right,
on
Jason?
it. He's one of the people on it.
I thought you said he was like the lead level designer or something.
Okay,
I don't know if he's the lead level designer.
What else? What else has
okay.
It's
Chris
been a while
Sen-
since I've read up on it, so I don't
What
know
else
that.
has Chris Sen done other than not be able to finish Sonic Extreme because of everything that went on with that project?
In terms of level design, I'm actually genuinely not sure. I know that he had something to do with Comic Zone.
Because I'm not going to
From
assume
Sega Technical
anything
Institute.
good about Sonic Extreme until unless it was actually released and playable. So I don't. I guess I am a little bit skeptical, but I am still I guess maybe more optimistic than at the very least Jason. As in,
Yeah, there's no way you're more optimistic than me. I'm the optimist. I'm
the
happy guy.
psychopath.
Yeah, I'm usually plenty
Can we talk
optimistic.
about
I'm just more on the defensive mode about this
My
one because
God.
what I'm seeing is not
I think we're at,
impressing me in the
30
least.
minutes.
I'm expecting to have
30
dumb
minutes.
fun. If they can deliver dumb
That's
fun,
what I'm
then I
expecting
will
at a
be
bare
pleased because that is all I honestly expect from them. If they can deliver more than that, I will be thrilled.
I'm
So
expecting
you're
dumb fun
going in
because
being happy with mediocrity.
yeah,
Define mediocrity. If I'm having fun, then it's maybe not as mediocre. Like
I mean, you're just expecting it to be so you're okay with it.
I will be happy if they make something playable that I enjoy. I am not holding this to any sort of major high regard. I don't have super high expectations with it. I'm not saying that I'm going to be happy if it's mediocre. If it's boring, it's still going to be boring. But if it's rough and fun, it's still fun.
I am expecting to enjoy it at least as much as I still enjoy Sonic Heroes.
So,
Which I know means a different thing to me than it does for a lot of people, but I like Sonic Heroes. It's fun.
I'll agree
But
on
I don't consider it the best thing.
I'll agree on that front. Like, I can still have fun with Sonic Heroes. I will not call it a good game. I will not call Sonic R a good game. I will call them both games that I enjoy and have fun with.
Okay, I would call Sonic Heroes a good game, but I agree with you on Sonic R.
You are giving it too much credit.
Yeah, I'm not saying
not for
I'm not
me.
saying at all that it looks like it's going to be bad, but just that it's going to look like mediocre or average at best.
And how about that Sonic, the 3DS version? How about that one? I do agree with you that it does look a bit better.
Yeah,
It looks way better than Sonic Generations, in my opinion.
I'm not expecting it to
Yeah,
be
it
the
looks like
best
it has actual levels
3DS game ever, but it looks all right.
Yeah.
What?
Looks like it's at least going to be more consistent in quality than Lost World was, where, for me, Lost World 3DS had high highs and really low lows. I'm hoping that this is just a consistent good or okay.
I find it interesting that version looks more like a Sonic game.
Yeah.
That's what I said
Except
at
for
the
the
beginning.
jumping thing that you were pointing out before the show, where he doesn't do the spin jump for like the first
Yeah,
time
that
ever
was
in Sonic.
that was super awkward to me. It is really weird to see him just jump without jumping into a spin. Because can you think of any other game where
Sonic 2006.
did he no
It's possible. It's possible.
possible versus default though?
I think you have to hold for him to get into the spin, but it's been a while since I've played it. But I do know that it is very easy to not go into a spin, and you can only kill enemies by actually homing in on them. You can't jump on them in Sonic 06.
Really, I didn't know that in that game. That just makes me angrier.
Yeah.
How come
That's
you
one
chastise
reason
me
why it
for
sucks so
expecting
much.
a Sonic game instead of more of a licensed game on the 3DS version, but then you're weirded out of by Sonic's jumps on the
Well,
3DS version.
I just it's a matter of it is a matter to some extent of just Legacy because that one does look more like a Sonic game. If that one was exactly like the other version, I could probably accept that more. But it looks like it's trying to be more Sonic level design and from that respect, it's just weird to see that. I'm not saying it's going to bother me that I won't be able to play it. I'm just saying it kind of weirds me out in a way.
I'll definitely be buying both because that's basically my job.
Yeah, I mean,
Sonic Stadium.
we
Even if
do
I didn't
Sonic
like
stuff.
I'd
It's
be
kind
buying
of we
it.
have to. By the way, Jason, I received that email 2 hours ago.
Damn, I didn't get anything. Although I do have a invite to the Electronic Arts press event.
If you don't get anything by June 6th, you can't go because that's the deadline.
Have
for the
you been
tickets.
complaining to them or
keep
something?
an eye out. I complained to them twice. Once in February and once in March.
The drama that no
up.
audience member is excited for.
Well, Comic-Con really pissed me off. So.
You got it and I didn't.
But and now I'm not even sure if I'm gonna go. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna go because it's an expensive trip, and I wasn't planning on it.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm sure your audience is crying all sorts of tears for your horrible decision, but for your really pressing decision. Oh, am I gonna go? I got invited to the Comic-Con.
They better
I'm gonna.
be. If they're listening to me, that means that they care about me and my personal
I live 2
feelings.
hours away from San
And if you
Diego,
don't care,
so I wanna
if you
go.
only shed one tear, you have my eternal hatred, and you will never, ever shed that. Okay.
Please,
All right, anyway.
it takes anything to earn your eternal hatred.
That's right. I forgot I hate you and Jason secretly.
Secretly?
that 'cause-
Secretly?
I'm hoping
Yeah,
these
secretly,
emails
yeah.
are going
Since
out
when was
on
it
a
secretly?
case-by-case basis, and I just haven't received it.
Shut up about Comic-Con.
Yes, we should shut up about Comic-Con because do we have anything else to really say about the 3DS version other than it looks like a slow Sonic Rush or Sonic Rivals? Maybe, probably, or maybe that's just 3D graphics. I thought I saw him jumping over obstacles.
Oh, I just got in more breaking news.
Shut up.
Eggman has one. Stop telling me to shut up. It's my damn show, pal.
It's our show.
I made the show. Eggman has won the California U.S. House primary.
That's not news. That's
Yes,
that
it is. We're going to have an Eggman in
That
Congress.
that is a
DX.
dumb side thing. It doesn't require being in the addendum. Save that for the actual
Yes,
episode.
it does.
Funny.
Eggman's going to be going to Congress as a Democrat, which means people are not going to expect him to be evil and take over the world. It's horrible.
This is gonna.
All part of his
I heard
master
he likes to
plan.
call himself Eggman. He doesn't like Eggman.
Well, guess what? Guess what? Everyone on the internet is gonna refer to him as.
Yep.
We got to get him on for an interview.
No, that would be a waste.
That would be really stupid.
Yes, it would. It would be very stupid.
Well, anyway, do we have anything else to say about the 3DS version, or are we just wasting everybody's time?
That's about it. I mean, we know what Styx is going to be in it, or not Marine.
Okay,
Yes,
will you shut up
you will
about?
call her not
Okay,
Marine.
stop that. It's.
I'm sorry, but it's such an unoriginal character. I mean, not only is it got the basis
I'm just doing it for
Marine,
kicks.
But her looks come also from what's her name, Aisha or Aika from Skies of Arcadia.
Well, so what?
Same exact hair.
So what?
Aika, you fool! You will not get her name wrong.
Black and brown fur, same as Marine. The whole Australian thing with the boomerang.
And any character
Marine has
branded-
For the-
Australian thick accent.
Any character that
Boomerangs for
references
hair.
Aika is awesome.
For the love of
basically-
God.
It's basically a
We-
recreation of that character.
For the fan base that
think it's
you
just funny.
interact with, you do. That is the worst possible complaint.
Well, yeah, I could think of worse.
We live in a fan base where for a solid decade and possibly further, people are recoloring the Sonic Advance sprites to make
and
them
now they
into
made
their
it an official
own
character.
magical little. Yeah. Well, you know what? That design for that, whether it is rip-offish or not, is still better than a lot of what I've ever seen.
Okay, it's not rip-offish. It is taking inspiration from a great character in a spectacular
I wouldn't say great.
RPG. And she will be awesome, but I will still call her not Marine because it pisses GX off.
It doesn't piss me off that much.
Yes, but it pisses you off a little bit.
It did the initial time, but the problem is, like I said, my rule on trolling is as soon as it becomes the understanding that you are attempting to troll me, you have no fangs.
I do welcome a new character, though, as far as being in a new thing like Sonic Boom.
It's fine.
I'm wondering if she'll have any special abilities in the game. I don't think we've seen
She's got her
anything yet, have we?
Boomerang. She has.
Yeah, imagine she could probably throw that, but how does that tie
She's your
into
ranged character.
Sonic game?
She's your ranged
I will say
character.
it looks pretty good. They showed some of the dialogue that goes back and forth in the Sonic Boom Wii U game, and it looks pretty funny so far.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Like Sonic collects rings, and he goes, "Rings, nom 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 nom," like that. Or he's talking to Eggman about his new machine. He goes, "Did you even read all the instructions for that?" He's all like, "Yes, yes. I only had a few screws left over."
Like I said, I'm expecting dumb fun from this. I don't.
Yes, I pray for at least dumb fun.
And that's all. And that's what I expect from the cartoon. I expect it to be. I don't expect it to redefine Sonic. I don't expect it to
exactly that either.
GX, I'm grateful that we had you on. It's rare that you are the optimist in the conversation.
That's not true. There have been situations where I've been more optimistic than you guys.
I said rare, not.
No,
not
I'm not.
non-existent,
I'm very rarely optimistic about Rare. I think Microsoft has basically burned and pillaged them.
Yes. I was optimistic about Rare until about, I guess, 2010, which I realized I'm late to the Rare kinda sucks now party, but man. Oh, what have they done to them? At least Viva Pinata and Cameo.
They stopped letting them make games. That's what happened to them.
Screw you, Microsoft.
Best thing I've heard all night.
I'm a Sony person now.
Whatever. Let's have Jack Tretton just move over to Microsoft now. Have him take care of things there. What am I saying?
I think we're done now.
Yes.
Right, and let's give our second goodbyes for the evening.
Oh, do we already have our first goodbyes? I wasn't paying attention.
From the original Sonic Talk of last week.
Well.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay.
I do want to finish off with one more very vital, very important thing.
Okay.
Jason.
Don't be
Jason.
Yes.
Shut up.
Well,
thank you.
That reminds me of a
No,
thing
we're
that
giving
GX
our
has done.
goodbyes. We already did it. I already gave my final running joke.
God, does he sound like a teacher or what? He's got to constantly correct you on everything.
Well, he has been dealing with Hellions. These little.
It is the
5-year
last freaking 2 weeks of school. Cut me some slack.
Yeah, that's why he's so angry right now, people. He is a teacher at the end of his rope.
They.
Well, actually, I don't even think he has a rope anymore. Honestly.
They were done before I was. And unfortunately.
All right, I am saying goodbye. Goodbye. So long. See ya. Hasta la vista, my
Breaking news! E3 2014 Nintendo booth construction pictures.
Meh.
Bye, guys.
Is there any sign of Bayonetta?
Bye, guys.
That's all I
Show
care
me
about.
E3 bear.
You can handle when you use your mind. Mr. Bad, got it good, but this ain't his neighborhood. He's taking over. No. Time is now. He can hide, find the power deep inside and make it happen. Sonic Boom. Spinning through a world in motion. Taking all the way. Work your move, work it out. That's what life is all about. It's your adventure. To the dark, to the light. It's a supersonic flight. Gotta keep it going. Sonic boom.